This is Prapancha. Universe word is too small. Whether universe or multiverse, all these words are too small. Prapancha is also too small. Paramashiva is the only word I can use because that is the ultimate word. No other word can be used even to describe Paramashiva. Understand? The KAILASA knowledge, Paramashiva Jnana, is principles. When that comes to Sanskrit, it becomes concepts. When that comes to English, it becomes long sentences. That is what I am explaining, I am expressing. Please understand, meditate on this. The space, extreme heat and extreme cold together. Like a source from where the idea of weather emerges, where the matter becoming energy or the energy becoming matter, matter and antimatter nullifying each other and becoming energy, where all this happens just by will, without any need for effort. Understand, that dimension is Nityatva. Understand one thing. You need to understand why we should know about Nityatva. Understand? If you know about Nityatva, you will cognize the basis foundation of your existence is Nityatva. Anything you cognize as the foundation of your basis, that becomes your basis. Understand? Because you strongly believed length, breadth, depth is your foundation. That is the fundamental principle on which you exist. You are pushed into this length, breadth, depth dimension. If you decide to cognize listen, if you decide to cognize Nityatva dimension, your inner space will be so beautifully attracted to that Nityatva dimension. It is such beautiful, ecstatic, glorious existence. By knowing about it, you will be attracted to it. That is the beauty of it. Energy becoming matter, matter becoming energy. Anything becomes anything. Big Bang becoming black hole becoming Big Bang. Creation, maintenance and rejuvenation, all this happens in that Nityatva space just by will, without any effort. The effortless existence zone. To establish yourself in that effortless existence zone, you just need a simple cognition, understanding, conviction, about that space existing in you. Like a length, depth, breadth, Nityatva is one of the dimension of the universe. Listen. Like a length, breadth, depth, time, space, Nityatva is one of the dimension of the universe. Sivaparamburulin Sitta Suddha Sugabodha Jnanasanam Nityatvam. சித்தாந்த சைவத்திலிருந்து இந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் சொல்றேன், நல்லா புரிஞ்சுக்குங்க. இன் சித்தாந்த சைவிசம் ட்ரெடிஷன், சைவ சித்தாந்த ட்ரெடிஷன், நித்யத்துவா இஸ் கன்சிடர்ட் as the seat of Paramashiva. Understand? Like a length, breadth, depth, time and space is the dimensions of the universe. Nityatva is one of the dimension of the universe. Actually, when you cross the level of length, breadth, depth, time and space, it is no more a universe, it is multiverse. Multiple verses exist. That is why Hinduism has multiple gods. It's not that only one God exists. Actually, multiple gods exist. Because the Hindus have gone into the depths of the cosmology. They know the multiverse and they know the multiple gods existing. Many people who are working to understand the secrets of the universe try to raise a doubt. When there is so much matter generated during the Big Bang, why so much antimatter is not generated? The question is wrong. Please understand. Matter and antimatter is always in balance. If any one gets imbalanced, immediately the Big Bang or black hole has to happen to balance it. Understand? Overflowing matter, overflowing antimatter need to be in samana for maintenance, means sthiti. Please listen carefully. From the influence of the antimatter, matter manifesting is Big Bang. From the influence of the matter, antimatter manifesting is black hole. If there is a sustenance, life perception, matter and antimatter is balanced, enough and equal amount of antimatter also is produced when matter is produced. Antimatter means, listen carefully, Paramashiva clearly defines all the thought currents, emotions, patterns, which is there in all of us, which is responsible for our functioning, but which is not perceived as material, is antimatter. Listen. Which is there in all of us, patterns, emotions, thought currents, feelings, experiences, which is responsible for our functioning, our existence, which matters for our existence, but which is not perceived as material, is antimatter. Enough quantity of antimatter also is released along with matter. Person who understands antimatter matters for life, starts making the cognitions related to antimatter, I tell you, how much you avoid poison, poisonous food, toxics in your system, that much you need to avoid toxic patterns and poisonous patterns. But unfortunately, you always recognize matter as existence and never recognize antimatter. You don't give the due right to the antimatter in your life and fail, land in accidents and collapse. If you cognize the higher reality about the antimatter, your life will be a powerful manifestation of completion, fulfillment, higher form of existence. Understand? The first powerful cognition you need to cognize, whatever you perceive as matter, existence of your life, equivalent amount you need to perceive, cognize the antimatter component of your life. Antimatter, avyakta, unmanifest, drives the matter. Antimatter is the energy source of the matter. The avyakta manifests as vyakta, and avyakta continues to be the driving force of the vyakta. The mandala, space, plane, which has a capacity to produce many planes, is called Brahma. The heads of that Brahma is being swallowed by the black hole. Understand? I am trying to give the description as closely as your logic can understand. Your logic can visualize. Brahma means space which can produce multiple spaces. Brahma is the energy which can manifest multiple energies. Like a sun is a star which can manifest many stars. Brahma is a zone, space, mandala, which can manifest many mandalas, zones, spaces, stars. That Brahma, his face is being swallowed by Kalabhairava, who manifests from the southern face, the Ahora face of Paramashiva. That is the beautiful story of Kalabhairava wearing the skulls of Brahma. Kalabhairava cuts the head of Brahma and wears as a garland. If you see all Kalabhairava deity, he will be wearing the skull garland. It's not ordinary human skull. It's a Kalabhairava's skull. Brahma's skulls. Kalabhairava's skull mala is made of Brahma's heads. It's not ordinary human skull mala. He is wearing Brahma Siras, Brahma Siro Maladari. The Brahma's heads are worn as garland by Kalabhairava. Deeply listen. Paramashiva, his five phases: creation, sustenance, rejuvenation, putting in delusion, liberation. This five phase: Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, Tirobhava, Anugraha. In this five phase, the Samhara, rejuvenation phase, from that manifests Kalabhairava, cosmic black hole that swallows Brahma's heads, Brahma Kapalas. Paramashiva, as Kalabhairava, wears the garland made of Brahma's skulls. What is the Brahma's skull, Brahma's head? The star which produces stars is Brahma's head. I'll narrate a story. Understand the truth behind the story. So you can understand the principle I am going to explain. The principle I am going to explain is science of rejuvenation through collective integrity. You can understand that principle if you understand this story. All of us know Paramashiva gave Sudarshana Chakra to Vishnu. O Parandama, forgive me. In any way, I portray you, create any misunderstanding knowingly or unknowingly. I'm just trying to narrate the story of KAILASA in the human language, which is very inadequate. Air is language, not the spirit or intention. Listen to the story. I'm not showing Parandama, Mahavishnu, in any way lower. But when I am talking in the logic, in the language, which you all understand, it is always the comparison of higher, lower. So when I say Paramashiva gave Sudarshana Chakra to Vishnu, don't think Vishnu is some way lower. He is far more superior than you and me. So be very clear about that. So, all of us know that Vishnu did tapas towards Paramashiva, and Paramashiva gave Sudarshana Chakra for Vishnu to protect this creation. And once Daksha, the Brahma's son, did tapas towards Vishnu and got the boon, Vishnu should protect him forever. Vishnu also gave the boon. And unfortunately, Daksha messed up with Paramashiva directly in the issue of Sati, means his daughter, Daksha's daughter Sati. She wanted to be with Paramashiva, but Daksha had his own opinions and he is so highly opinionated due to his ego and arrogance, and he tried to fight with Paramashiva, and that stupid things were going on, and in his extreme attachment for her daughter, for his daughter, he started going against Paramashiva, but finally he went against his own daughter. That is the delusion and the blind spots. When you create a delusion and delusion based anger and violence, it will not be directed only towards your enemy, it will be directed even towards the people whom you love, and finally it will direct itself towards you, and it's like a suicide. That is why the blind spot centric arrogance, the delusion based arrogance and violence is always not just murderous, it is suicidal. So this guy Daksha got into that mess, and again I wanted to tell you all, based on this story which I am narrating, don't try to underestimate Daksha also. He is surely far higher than you. So these are the stories from the different plane. So remember that and learn only the truth. Learn the truth that you should not get into the deluded arrogance and deluded violence and deluded vengeance. Learn the truth and don't try to judge Daksha. Anyhow, so this Daksha did a yajna, disrespecting Paramashiva without offering the offerings to Paramashiva. Sati came directly, Parashakti came directly to teach lesson to Daksha, but unfortunately Daksha not only did not listen. See, when your deluded arrogance and anger is directed towards Paramashiva, then naturally it destroys you. So this fellow is extreme attachment to his daughter. He developed anger towards Paramashiva. Finally, that same anger, due to his delusion, he directed it towards his own daughter, for whom he developed anger towards Paramashiva, and then finally that anger destroyed him. He directed that same anger on Sati, and Sati just gave the body back, the body given by Daksha. She just threw it back, because Daksha prayed to Devi Parashakti and begged for Parashakti to come down as his daughter. But the fool has forgotten. He brought Parashakti herself as his daughter, and he became deluded. Anyhow, you all know the story that she gave up the body Daksha gave and showed her original form of Dasamahavidya, that she is Parashakti. And then Paramashiva manifested as Veerabhadra to come and teach a lesson to this Daksha's arrogance. Vishnu is caught because he gave a commitment to Daksha. He gave a word to Daksha that he will protect Daksha forever. He has to maintain his integrity. So, when Paramashiva came directly to finish the Daksha Yajna in the form of Veerabhadra and Daksha to teach lesson to the Daksha and Daksha's, to remove Daksha's arrogance, Vishnu So what can be done? One side, my integrity, my commitment to my disciples, my devotees, that I have given a word, I will protect him forever. Other side, Paramashiva. What to do? He decided, okay, let me try my best to keep my words. With all Paramashiva gave me. So he took the Sudarshana Chakra and said, Paramashiva, this is the greatest weapon you gave me to protect this creation. And I have given a word to this fellow, Daksha, that I have to protect him. Because I gave a word, I will protect him forever. My maximum capacity to protect is Sudarshana Chakra. Now I am sending this towards you to protect my integrity, to keep my integrity. So he sends the chakra towards Paramashiva. Simply one of that Brahma Kapala, which Paramashiva was wearing, that Kapala just swallowed that Sudarshana Chakra. Like a murku. If you know the Indian snack murku, how you grab the murku and smash in your mouth. Same way, one of the Brahma Kapala Paramashiva was wearing, it just grabbed that Sudarshana Chakra and bag over and kept it under his teeth. And then Vishnu looked at Daksha and said, see, my maximum capacity is my Sudarshana Chakra. I have sent that. So I have tried everything possible by me to keep my words, to protect you. Now, nothing more can be done, and he returned to Vaikuntha. He went back to Vaikuntha. Of course, you all know the story that Veerabhadra came and cut the head of Daksha to teach lesson and remove his arrogance. Then Daksha's wife comes and cries to Mahadeva and prays to Mahadeva, and Mahadeva says, I am not against him. I am only against his arrogance. So, he is not my enemy. Only the part of his arrogance is need to be removed. The arrogance need to be taught a lesson. So, he removes the cancer and gives him back a different head, a goat head, and gives life to Daksha. This story has a very deep significance. Women's Muladhara Chakra, man's Sahasrara Chakra. This too is the source for a child to manifest. So, it is this fellow's arrogance, from that biomemory, Sati's body also had one component. That is the reason Sati gave up that very body. So naturally, if his head is punished, that is enough. He doesn't need to lose life. You all need to know, life is prior to body and it will continue to exist even after body. The beauty of studying Hindu Puranas, it is not just history, it is principled, philosophically defined, real history. All of you need to know. That is why only if you understand the philosophy, you will understand Hindu histories are far more true, factual, real, right than the so-called modern human histories. So-called modern human histories. So if you study even one Purana, you will understand all the major cosmic principles and truths completely. It's a very powerful revelation, very powerful truth. So Paramashiva just removes only the tumor, gives life back to him with a goat head, and the story goes. All this is okay. But in this whole drama, Vishnu lost chakra. His Sudarshana chakra. Now, how he will protect the world? He has to protect the world, his devotees. There are so many things need to be done, which is dependent on his Sudarshana chakra. Then he prays to Paramashiva, starts meditating again, doing tapas. Mahadeva, please give that Sudarshana chakra back. I have to maintain this universe. I have to protect this universe as per your order. Because you ordained me to protect this universe. In this, I got into the mess by giving a commitment to Daksha. I never imagined this fool will go against you and create a mess for me also. It is extremely stupid. So Kalabhairava appears and asks Vishnu, come on, tell me what do you want. Vishnu says, give me that Sudarshana chakra back. And Mahadeva just looked on the skull garlands he was wearing. Hey, where is that Sudarshana chakra? Who is having? One skull said, I'm only having it, it's in my teeth. I just grabbed it because I was the nearest one when the chakra was coming. I just grabbed it and it's in my teeth. And Mahadeva says, hey, give it back to him. That Brahmakapala said, Mahadeva, I am ready to give now because I always obey your order. Immediately I give it back. But I want him to do completion. How dare he sends his Sudarshana chakra towards you? Let him reenact how he did it. Then I will give it back. See, listen. Without the background music, you see anyone's dance, it not only it will lose the context, you will laugh like anything. Without the background music, if you see anybody's dance, you will laugh like anything because it will look like a joke, comedy. Same way, without the emotion, see, when somebody acted out of anger, without the anger, same emotion, same spontaneity, if that person acts out the same thing, it will look like a comedy. Completion is all about making all your past lose its importance or its power over you. So now, Vishnu does the same act. How he spontaneously sent his Sudarshana chakra without the same emotion. Then this Brahmakapala, he laughs loudly. In that loud laughter, that Sudarshana chakra comes out and falls on the ground. And Vishnu touches Mahadeva's feet. From the Mahadeva's feet, he receives the Sudarshana chakra. O Parandama, forgive me. Anyway, I portrayed you in a dim light, all of you listen. Once again, I want to repeat, don't ever underestimate Parandama Mahavishnu listening to this story. This story is told to show the greatness of Paramashiva, but not to show Parandama in any dim light or low idea. So be very clear. Understand the principle. Don't try to have low idea even about Daksha. So these cosmic stories, just understand the principle I am trying to convey. Don't try to do your own gadbad, your own judging and creating mess. In Sati's whole existence, the deep devotion of mother, but the arrogance of the father, both got into her system. The muscle memory of the deep devotion of mother made her fall in love with Paramashiva, but the arrogance strain came from father's biomemory. That made even Sati disobey Mahadeva and come from Kailasa to Mayapuri. Mayapuri is the present day Haridwar, to teach lesson to Daksha. Mahadeva told, hey, he will not listen. She should have obeyed Mahadeva's strategy, but the strain of Daksha, because of Daksha's own biomemory, she thought she can teach a lesson to Daksha. She taught a lesson in a different way, but anyhow, understand the story, whatever has happened. And the multiple important truths you need to understand. Even if the black hole swallows, the thing swallowed by the black holes does not die. It continues to exist in a different plane. For example, if the Brahma's head is cut off, it is supposed to be dead. That's why the world calls it as a skull. But that skull is not dead. It is so powerful even to swallow the Vishnu chakra. Sudarshana chakra like a murk snack. So listen carefully. You don't have death. There is nothing called destruction. I am only saying, die after realizing there is no death. Don't die before that. Because if you die before realizing there is no death, you may have death, but not the real undying experience. Listen carefully. Even if you die by being with Guru, he will show you the undying component of you when your body stops functioning. Even your death will be liberation. If you die without Guru, you may have death, but not the liberation or realization of undying during the death. You will be just born again and again. See the first level truth, which I told, that's the description of the scene where the face of Aghora, of Paramashiva, manifests Mahakala and like black holes swallowing the big bangs, Brahma's heads, Kalabhairava swallowing the Brahma Kapalas and making garland of Brahma's skulls for him. Understand, that is the most beautiful Dhyana sloka in English for Mahakala. If you have some photos released by NASA, how the black holes swallow the big bangs, just see exactly that indescribable way Mahakala Bhairava with the Brahma Kapala Malas, the skull garland of Brahma Kapalas, the multiple big bangs swallowed by the large black hole. But the big bangs are not dead. They are all there as garland, alive and more powerful, even to swallow Vishnu's chakra, Sudarshana chakra. See, Brahma is son of Vishnu. The sun's head, because it is owned by Paramashiva, is capable of even swallowing the father's weapon like a snack and keep it inside his teeth.
Yes, Nityanandam, how was this revelation from Swamiji? How did you all enjoy this? How was it for you all to enjoy this wonderful revelation from Swamiji? How the universe functions. How the universe functions. The universe came into existence, the big bangs and black holes, and how each of it comes into existence. Ma Adila Skulin. Okay, there are many of you wondering what is the name of this video. Okay, see, for Paramashivoham, we take videos from so many different years. Through the years, all that Swamiji has revealed, and we stitch it to you and give it to you as one video together. So there's a video on Cosmology itself, ma. In YouTube, it's available, but this particular video is exclusive on Paramashivoham only. This whole existence, the universe, how it came, right? Starting from the big bangs and black holes, understanding how exactly this universe came into existence. If you understand all your components, you can see very, very clearly the moment big bang and black hole is happening in your system. Swamiji says that's why Hinduism has a very beautiful word. It's called microcosm, the Pindhanda and the Brahmanda. If you understand the Pindanda, you understand the Brahmanda. If you understand the Brahmanda, you understand the Pindanda. You are the microcosm. The cosmos is the macrocosm. If you understand the Big Bang and black hole in the microcosm, you will understand in the macrocosm the Big Bangs and black holes that happen. All the thought currents, the emotions, patterns which is there in all of us is responsible for our functioning, but which is not perceived as material is antimatter. The antimatter, avyakta, unmanifest, drives the matter. Antimatter is the energy source of the matter. The avyakta manifests as vyakta, and avyakta continues to be the driving force of vyakta. The unmanifest continues to remain as the driving force of the manifest. Getting it? Catching it? So, if for every one of us sitting here, right, if you understand the secret of how this cosmos functions, you will catch the thread of existence. You will catch how the cosmos functions, why, where, when, what, which, and how it happens. Just understanding this one truth, it will completely change our understanding, completely change our view of how we perceive reality and nature around us. Okay, and there's so many secrets to learn about cosmology. There's so many secrets to understand about that. Antimatter, the avyakta, the unmanifest, drives the matter. Antimatter is the energy source of the matter. The avyakta manifests as vyakta, and avyakta continues to be the driving force of the vyakta. The unmanifest continues to be the driving force of the manifest. Okay, let us take a few minutes to do a quick exercise. How you perceive you, how you project yourself to others, has to expand just like the universe. Universe expands. There's a very beautiful verse in Ishavasya Upanishad, which is called as Jagatyam Jagat, the change established on change. And the consciousness is described as Manaso Javiyaha, swifter than the mind. The universe constantly changes and is expanding, expanding, and expanding into something else. So the expansion happens in the expansion. And that same way, if you understand the authenticity of yourself, you can apply this exact same truth in your life as well. Ma Susan Solander has put, Swamiji is disclosing how the principles of Paramashiva works. For example, matter and antimatter. Yes, that's right. Ma Hongli Wong is saying, such a great story Swamiji has narrated. So interesting. This is a science. It is not just a story. It's a science. How the universe came into existence, how Lingodbhava happens, how Kalabhairava gives the Sudarshana Chakra back to Vishnu. These are all not just stories. It's a science. Ma Merlina Yazi, welcome, Ma. You have asked for Atmalinga form. The support desk team will be posting to you the form, Ma, and the spiritual name request as well. So you can sign up there and get your Atmalingam, request for your Atmalingam. Okay. And Ma Merlina Yazi said, I'm amazed by all the knowledge Swamiji is sharing. You cannot learn this anywhere else, especially with the depth of experiential knowledge to help us cognize this all. There are worlds beyond the black holes. It doesn't go away. We can exist beyond the black holes. That's very rightly said. And also, Ma, most of the places that you learn about black holes and big bangs, it's just taught as a physics, like something that's there. Okay, it's out there. How is it relevant to my life? And there are some people stuck only about their lives but forgetting about the big bangs and black holes. Only an avatar who is beyond, who surpasses the constraints of time in the beyond the human notions, only he, that avatar, can guide us to what is existence as it is. That is what Swamiji has done. That's right. Okay. So now I request every one of you to post all your understandings. And if any of you have your questions, doubts that you would like to ask, please go ahead and post it. Ketan Gebyod has posted Big Bang. Yes. And any other questions? Sriram, Saira Mangulaya and Ketan Aya, Aslim Aya, Daniel and Hugo. Are you understanding? Hugo is our youngest participant of Paramashivoham, and every time I see Hugo, I feel so happy. He's just literally experiencing such an amazing ambience. This young age, sitting so sincerely and participating. And Hugo, you should know the intelligence, the cognitions that enters right now that you're learning. I know you might be a little too young, you may not understand all of this, but your being understands each of these cognitions. And you will see how in your studies, in your exams, everywhere, you will be able to replicate these powerful cognitions. If you understand how the universe expands, no knowledge is limited. You will understand how eternally your cognitions are going to keep expanding, and the knowledge is not limited for you as well.
Absolutely. Actually, Ma Merlina Yazi have asked about, you'd like to know the information relation to planets, to our bodies. Yes, like as I was mentioning earlier in the previous session, Swamiji had shared a brief about it, right? Not in this one, but the previous one. Swamiji has written a book on it, and it is going to be coming as a gift for all of you. So if you have not been receiving gifts, like every day you should have been receiving gifts if you're attending the program. If you have not received it, you can send your email ID as a direct message to the PSM Tech Team ID that you're seeing us through. You can just send it to that, and we will ensure that you're receiving the gift. Ma Prithvi Prasad, actually, Ma, you just listen more and more. I do see that you're sincerely there listening. Many times I notice you listening in the sessions. See, what Swamiji is revealing, right? It literally takes 3 full Paramashivohams to be attended. Like that's what Swamiji said. You should at least attend 3 times the full 21 days to even grasp it. See, what we learn in 21 days of inner awakening, Swamiji has just squished it and packaged it. Already the 21 days is like best of the best. Swamiji has even condensed that and given it within like the first week of Paramashivoham. And the previous Paramashivohams, Swamiji has condensed that. And on top of it, he's revealed much, much deeper topics. It's like all the programs that has happened so far, plus much more information packaged and condensed and given to us. That's why it takes like a lot of time to even grasp these great truths. So I understand what you are experiencing, but don't worry. As you said, we will be sending the gifts as well as homeworks too. So make sure you're just checking your email and attend as much as possible, because that will really help you to digest this information more and more deeply. We will be sending you the email after the program is done. Like after today's sessions are over, then we'll be sending you today's gift. So that's how you should be checking the email. It's so interesting to see all of you so sincerely participating and digesting these truths, especially coming from different parts of the world and various different time zones. All of us are there here sitting for these 16 hours for 21 days and listening to these amazing truths that Swamiji is sharing completely free of cost and gifting it for all of us. Anyone here for the very first time? Like this is your very first program? Anyone like that? Who all are here for the very first time? And especially this great knowledge of the Navagrahas or the astrology, everything, you're hearing for the first time. Alok Ajita has posted, it's really amazing. So many clarities at different levels. Absolutely, right? It's just so amazing, especially even if you have heard, like I know you've attended programs earlier before. So even if you have heard it multiple times, this truth, especially the way Swamiji stitches this content together and gives to us, it's like a new revelation opens up, right? What in me would be okay? Ketan Geboyd has posted, what in me would be considered the black hole? I could see the entire happening in my inner space as he told the story of Daksha. Wow. But I was wondering, what would in me would be considered the black hole or Big Bang? Such a beautiful question. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? Where exactly, which country are you from? Ketan Geboy. And have you done any of the programs before, or is this your first program? I appreciate your sincerity with which you're listening to ask such a beautiful question. See, Big Bang and black hole are simultaneously happening in us. This is your third program. You're from US, Atlanta. Wonderful. Listen to this carefully. See, every time you enter inside your causal layer, for example, you go to sleep and then you come back from your sleep. That whole time you're actually getting sucked into your own being. That is a black hole that is happening in you. In multiple levels, this Big Bang and black hole continuously happens in us. This is the first thing. Every time you unclutch, every time there's like something that pulls you in, is a manifestation of black hole happening inside of you. Are you understanding? Every time any cognition pulls you inside, like every time you feel like a particular cognition is making you feel more drawn inside of you, it just takes you in, is a black hole manifestation happening inside of you. Understand, every single one of us are experiencing this Big Bang and black hole continuously within us. And just the understanding of this, understanding that this is, see, whenever you enter into the source of you, that time, that experiencing that source of you is called as black hole. From that, see, every time you go into sleep, it's like the whole universe is just merging within you. That is black hole happening. And that few minutes after you go through the deep sleep state, and then you come out of the deep sleep state, then you enter into the waking state, that few minutes time from where you're entering from the deep sleep state to the waking state, or the dream state to waking state, the transition that's happening, you're, as Paramashiva, you're creating the whole universe. It is Big Bang happening through you. When the whole thing, when you go into sleep, the whole creation just merges into you. That is black hole. When you wake up and the whole creation just expresses out of you, it is Big Bang. How in your dream, it is you who creates the whole universe. In your dream, you are the one who is playing the role of yourself. You're the one who's playing the role of your boss. You're the same one who's probably playing the role of your friend. You're the one who's playing the role of your colleague. Everything is you playing various roles. Even in that, let us say you broke up with your partner in your dream. It is not equal to what has happened in the real, what you call as the real state, right? Whatever happened in the dream is what happened within the dream, because it's you who is manifesting your universe there. We understand it in our dream level. Now, when you go inside, when you start cognizing every moment, every time I'm inhaling, and when the breath is touching into my consciousness, Paramashiva, I am having the black hole inside of me. Every time I'm exhaling, it is from that source, touching the source of Paramashiva, I'm exhaling out, I'm creating. It is Big Bang happening. In multiple levels, you will understand, you will click with it. You will cognize how this Big Bang and black hole happens. So I'm just given an amazing technique. Every time when you are going to sleep, visualize you are Paramashiva who is falling into the samadhi, as like Paramashiva, the whole universe is just merging inside of you. Every time you wake up, visualize you are Paramashiva and the whole universe is getting created out of you. Just try this. So next, see, initially it will be a conscious effort you take, but suddenly you will start seeing everything in your life the way you want, you will be creating. It will help you just reverberate with Paramashiva's oneness space. You understood, Aya? Wonderful. So nice to see all of you understanding in various levels, and it's so beautiful to see this. Now, all of us are going to be, this black hole is vacuum, correct? Merlina Yazdi, black hole is not equal to vacuum. In vacuum, we say there is nothing but just space. In black hole, everything exists. In black hole, when everything gets into the black hole, it continues to exist eternally. It is not equal to vacuum. In vacuum, you say there's nothing, there's no particle that exists. That's what you call as creating a vacuum. But in black hole is not equal to vacuum, because in black hole, what enters inside the black hole exists eternally. You understood now? Wonderful. So now, let's all take a few minutes and we are going to be entering into the power manifestation.
All manifest this power of being able to identify what exactly incident that another person is thinking about. Okay? Ready? Shall we all start? You're going to be connecting to your partners, identifying what exactly is your partner. What is the exact incident that your partner is thinking about? What are they visualizing? So let's say you can ask your partner to think any incident that they want. Okay, you're going to be scanning and trying to identify what exact incident that the partner is thinking about. Please connect to a partner. You all can manifest with the same partner as in previous rounds. Please connect to a partner.
Paramashivoham Om Nityananda 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 Paramashivoham. 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham 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 Om Nityananda Paramashivoham
Nityanandam, how many of you manifested? Well, can post it in the chat. How many of you were able to manifest? Please take a quick few minutes and share that with us. Now we all are going to be entering into a very exciting session. I know a whole day enjoying these Vedic astrology, learning about Hindu cosmology. It's been so exciting, right? The next session we are going to be entering into is even more exciting because this is Surya Siddhanta. Much, much, much deeper revelations on the Vedic astrology and astronomy, how the cosmos exists. So that's the session all of us are now going to be entering into. Get ready. Take note of all your clicks, and you're going to share your clicks with us right after the session.
Listen. Knowledge empowers you, makes you respond differently to the world and problems of the world. Same way, consciousness empowers you. When you are inspired, when you are excited, when you are initiated, when you start practicing power manifestation, the consciousness you experience empowers you, makes you respond completely differently in a very powerful way for the happenings of the outer world. The happenings of the outer world does not damage, dent, impact your inner space. You live as KAILASA, powerful. I tell you, empowering yourself with consciousness, powerful cognitions, consciousness-based powerful cognitions, and powers of Paramashiva is the best life. I am from the tradition, ecosystem, which gave books like Surya Siddhanta. Understand? I want to tell you, for thousands of years we know the cosmos.
more than any scientist in the modern day. For thousands of years, we know all these great truths. Our lifestyle was established on all these great truths. Any simple priest doing puja in a village temple in India, who does the Sankalpa mantra, who knows absolutely more truths about the cosmos than many modern day scientists. Because the Sankalpa mantra, the Mahasankalpa mantra, he should know biography of the whole universe and geography, where he is sitting, and the cosmology, how the whole thing is functioning, and mainly the relationship between these three for his present moment of when he is performing, conducting the sacred ritual. The whole thing he has to know. Only when he can do Mahasankalpa. That is the beauty of this great tradition. The sun which you are seeing every day is described as Aditya, incarnation of Surya in Surya Siddhanta. Surya says, in my own reflection, I reflect myself like a Paramashiva reflects and extends himself as Parashiva and Aparashiva, and Parashiva reflects himself as Mahasadashiva, and Mahasadashiva reflects himself as Sadashiva, and Sadashiva reflects himself as Shiva. Shiva only we are all worshipping and meditating. So understand how Paramashiva reflects into Parashiva and Aparashiva, how Parashiva reflects into Mahasadashiva, Mahasadashiva into Sadashiva, Sadashiva into Shiva. Same way, Surya reflects into Aditya. Aditya only is seen by all of us through our eyes every day. So the galaxy which we are seeing as per Surya Siddhanta is not just Milky Way. All the known, imaginable, comprehensible, visualizable universe, whole Vyakta, manifest, is considered as Surya Mandala in Surya Siddhanta. Surya, as per Surya Siddhanta, whole known universe is Surya Mandala. All the manifest Vyakta is Surya Mandala. Avyakta is dark matter. So the whole manifest Vyakta, known universe, is going around inside Avyakta, that dark energy, on KAILASA. KAILASA is the center. The dark matter, the dark energy is the base foundation on which the whole known universe is going around. Whole known universe is going around KAILASA, floating in the dark matter. So everything manifested, Vyakta, is Surya Mandala. Now, what Tamal Tarundas has sent, that scientists have discovered, is you are talking more about Milky Way, the whole galaxy. But see, when you say Surya Mandala, you try to represent or describe the whole galaxy. But when I say the word Surya Mandala, I mean the whole known
universe manifest. So, if I have to map based on what science have tried to understand, reach, I should introduce a new word like a Turyatita. The word Turya is not complete enough, so I have to introduce the word Turyatita. Like that, now I have to introduce the word not just fourth unit of time, the next level units of time. That's why I call it vertical time zone. So understand, the very interesting statement I wanted to make now. Listen, anything which exists goes round itself, can go round itself, its microcosmic existence, and it can go round its macrocosm. Very paradoxical statement. Listen, anything which exists can rotate within itself, its microcosmic existence, and it can go around the whole macrocosm. So now, the next revelation is, even KAILASA, Paramashiva, is going round himself, means he is doing swapradakshina, and around him the whole universe is going around. Listen carefully. So, the next, it's not conclusion, it's revelation. Anything which can rotate within itself is the reflection of Paramashiva. If you can whirl and center your consciousness with this powerful cognition, this moment, you can connect with Paramashiva, who is center of the KAILASA. Listen. Paramashiva, who is center of the KAILASA, who is also going around within himself. Swapradakshina, Atma Pradakshina. Anything which is doing Atma Pradakshina, all its centers are one and the same. I am not saying connected to one and the same. No, I am saying one and the same. If you can whirl, what is inside your center is the center of this planet Earth, is the center of the Aditya, is the center of Surya. Aditya's ultimate version is the center of Paramashiva, Surya's ultimate version. So, I am not saying all of us are connected, I am saying all of us are one and the same. Anything which can rotate itself can rotate macrocosm. Anything which can rotate itself in microcosmic level, who can do Atma Pradakshina, can do Paramatma Pradakshina, can do if you can do microcosmic rotation, you can do macrocosmic rotation. So anything which does microcosmic rotation, Atma Pradakshina, Swapradakshina, is center of the cosmos, KAILASA, Paramashiva. Your conscious intention is the principle manifestation, primary expression, core concept called you. Understand? If you are a concept, core of you is your conscious intention. You need to know the good news is your unconscious mood swings does not matter. That is why knowledge, jnana, about what is right conscious intention is given so much of importance in Hindu tradition. That is why in Hinduism, the ultimate is called Veda, not Divya. Listen. The word Veda means knowing, knowledge. Divya means sacred. Veda, knowledge is sacred. Whether you talk about the cosmos, its principles, or planets, the principles in which planets exist, the being of the planets, doings of the planets, please understand, as your modern science teaches, planets are not like some dead mechanism just going round, round, round. It is all living energies. That is why Surya Siddhanta can clearly, precisely calculate and tell you whether the past astronomical incidents, miracles, mysteries happened, or the future which is going to happen, or even simple clerical predictions of the routine happenings like Amavasya, Purnima, eclipse, even those things, the precision with which they can calculate is extraordinary, because Surya Siddhanta recognizes each of these planets as living forces. Modern day psychology, Vedic psychology. Modern day medicine, Vedic medicine. Modern day physiology, Vedic physiology. Modern day cosmology, Vedic cosmology. The difference between this is only one thing. In Vedic tradition, everything is conscious centered. You are not biomechanism in Ayurveda, you are bioorganism. In modern day medicine, you are biomechanism. They don't involve the component of consciousness, whether to diagnose you or cure you or treat you or attend to your illness or support you in any form. End to end, conscious component is not accepted as the active part of their whole profession, end to end.
Let me narrate this incident, then you will understand. Once my guru was trying to teach me the Surya Siddhanta, means how the Panchanga can be predicted and pinned down. He was trying to show how the sun is center and earth moves around the sun and moon is around the earth, and the whole structure, including the sun, moon, the whole thing is also moving. He described in an elaborate way, and then he took a chalk piece, just drew some numbers on various parts of my body. The numbers belong to each graha, is directly connected to our internal organs. Each graha influences one of our internal organ heavily. And he drew that numbers on my body, and he drew that same numbers on external, on the floor. Explaining how when those grahas change, when those stars move, regular cosmic happenings like Amavasya, Purnima, how those things should be predicted are calculated. That is more like a calculation. It's not even prediction. But its influence on the humanity need to be predicted. Its influence on the individual's lives need to be predicted. My gurus were trying to map this whole science and explain this to me. I think almost the core fundamental structure of Jyotisha and Surya Siddhanta I am trying to explain. Chandaha padautu Vedasya hastau kalpoda patyate jyotishamayanam chakshurniruttam shrotramuchyate sikshakranam tu Vedasya mukam vyakaranam smrutam. This is a very traditional verse. In any Gurukul they will chant this and make you repeat. It's a description. 6 angas of the Vedas in Veda Purusha's body. Jyotisham ayanam chakshu, meaning Jyotish Sastra is considered as eyes of the Veda Purusha. From this we understand that the Vedic astrology is as old as Vedas, or in other words, does not have beginning, anadi. This Shastra is also called Hora Shastra. Hora is an abbreviation of Ahoratram, meaning day and night. It means it is the systematic study of time and its components and parameters and its influence on physical, chemical, biological existence of what we know as life. Listen. One very funny incident happened when he was teaching me. I was so intensely immersed in his teachings. He was showing me, hey, this is Surya. This influences your brain thinking system. This is Rahu. He influences your liver. The actions liver performs physically, its influence on your thinking system, everything, if you map it to the description of Rahu, it will absolutely match. Guru, Brihaspati, is the decision-making mechanism which influences your will persistence, Agnya Chakra. Pituitary glands and its impact on your existence is directly Guru. He was explaining step by step how each of these grahas and their members and how they influence your lifestyle, patterns, everything. I'll repeat exact one line. He was touching the Rahu description of how he was describing Rahu and touched my body. Infused that Rahu energy in my liver. I could see immediately so much happening inside me. I just vomited, literally, physically. Felt so fresh, alive, relieved. Of course, after cleaning all that place, everything, my Guru has explained. ஈரம் ஏற்பட்டா ஆயுள் நீளும் தம்பி. In Tamil he said, if the liver is straightened out, life will increase. It is directly Rahu. Rahu is responsible for your longevity. Rahu can influence and put you in addictions and kill you, or he can keep you addiction free, or addicted to right habits and food and keep you happy, healthy for any long. This whole thing is related to your liver. if the liver decides to addict you for certain food, nothing can be done. Just by remembering that food, you will be forced, your whole system will be pushed to eat it. After eating, you will repent, but you will not stop eating. He said, integrity of the liver to the purpose of your existence makes you long, happy, healthily living. Because liver sends the signals about hunger and what kind of food you like, the taste, everything. The memories of the food and its taste flashing in your system and you being influenced to eat that same kind of food, timing, rhythm, everything is liver. When you don't understand the fourth unit of time, kalpa, you start developing very narrow vision about time, life, about everything. Anyone even intellectually understands the concept of kalpa, the fourth unit of time, is liberated from so much of fears. I tell you, the permanence of existence, perception about life absolutely changes the moment you understand this fourth unit of time. I'm just revealing some of the superconscious principles. I want a long Vakyartha Sadas to happen in every level. Understand? Because we are agitated, we don't think for a long time, because we don't think or try to understand the multiple units of time. We are just stuck with 3 units of time. That is why all our planning, all our ability to connect with the time, all our ability to understand time stops with the units of years. Whether you calculate for 10 year or 10 million year, whole thing is just within the unit called year. But if you understand the fourth unit of time, kalpa or yuga, the whole realization about you, life, everything will change. The sin of one life theory will lose its base. I call it a sin because of that one life theory. So much suffering for humanity. See whether the greedy way of generating the wealth by destroying the earth. It's like you are going to attend a competition, bodybuilding competition tomorrow, just to get the award or the winner title. You take steroids and show the muscles which is not really built by hard work. through steroids or drugs. You are ready even to die day after tomorrow after winning the title. But somehow you want to win the title. How? We need more gods for planet Earth, less human. But unfortunately, in Indian society, when you don't work, you only fall into tamas. Your body is trained. The food, thought currents, lifestyle, everything. Either you are active or sleeping, confused, lethargic, depressed, not in Turiya. But the food style, lifestyle, everything in KAILASA will be, you are unclutched, unclutched, unclutched. The more you are unclutched, more intensely active you are. More you are in Turiya, more active. More you are in Turiyatita, more strategically active. Lifestyle, food style, everything. And understandings about life. I tell you, just this one principle, understanding the fourth unit of time. I am not even explaining the whole Surya Siddhanta. Surya Siddhanta explains not only the unit of Kala, there is something called where the Kala takes turn. Means Kala is described as the serpent eating its own tail. Snake eating its own tail continuously. That eating, how it just pulls its tail and swallows, that is called happening, event. I'll give you a small understanding about these events of time. Like how I explained the units of time, listen to the event of time. Earth rotates itself. Moon not only goes round the earth, it also rotates itself. Earth moves, rotates itself and goes round the sun. Same way, moon rotates itself and goes round the earth. And sun rotates itself and goes round the KAILASA. In this movements, listen carefully, the unit of time is dependent on the actions. Events of time is this self-rotation and going around another body, crisscrossing of that is event. For example, because moon goes round the earth and earth is going around the sun, this crisscrossing is the eclipse. At one point, this crisscrossing happens, means sun is covered by the moon or moon is covered by the sun. This crisscrossing, that is called events, eclipses. Same way, sun rotating itself and going around the KAILASA creates multiple events, not just unit. It creates multiple events. units of time and events of time. In Surya Siddhanta, snake eating its own tail, every swallowing is considered as event. A full snake body eaten by itself is called unit. So for earth rotating itself, there's a unit and events. Moon rotating itself, there is unit and events. Moon going around the earth, there is unit and events. Earth going around the sun, there is unit and events. Sun going around the KAILASA, there is unit and events. Now, let us look at only the fourth unit of time. The fourth unit of time is cognized by the mind which lives in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And even if all of you have not achieved a Nirvikalpa Samadhi, if you understand the principles from a person who lives in Nirvikalpa Samadhi and makes that as a lifestyle, you will enjoy all the benefits of the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. For example, Einstein's theory, all of us may not understand, but many benefits derived from that theory, we are all enjoying in our life because we decided to accept his theories. Same way, the fourth unit of time, this theory, all of you may not be able to grasp it, but if you decide to accept and enjoy, make this theory as a part of you, you will enjoy all the benefits of these truths, benefits of this theory. That is what I call living enlightenment. Till you realize personally, individually, as your own enlightenment, living it because your Guru has revealed it, making that as your vision because your Guru has revealed it, is living enlightenment.
them. So beautifully, Swamiji actually revealed to us the entire secret of Surya Siddhanta, how it is not just what we are learning or understanding as per the planetary positions externally alone, but how they all are directly connected to our body itself. So, how was it for all of you to listen to these revelations? And from morning, I've been seeing so many messages from so many participants saying it was really extraordinary to listen to such amazing revelations from Swamiji. So, I request each one of you to take a few minutes and post what all are the understandings and clicks that you have had today. Please take a minute and post what did you understand from this session so far. Which part did you really like? What are all the things that you really enjoy when Swamiji revealed about this Surya Siddhanta or explained about how each of these grahas are connected to our own body, everything? Mind blowing. Malarvati has posted. All other participants, come on. Alexandra, the cognition which Guru had revealed to you about Surya Siddhanta, even intellectually grasped by you, is living enlightenment. So this Surya Siddhanta seems to be very powerful, absolutely. Just listening to these revelations, it's so powerful. It will give you so much of knowledge. Alexandra has asked, is the moon also rotating around himself? Why we don't see the backside of the moon? See, actually, Swamiji has answered this question. Swamiji said, we only see one side of the moon because Paramashiva has actually fitted the moon on his jatas. What does that signify? Only one side of the moon you can see at any given point in time. You only see that one side of the moon. They say in science we learn about the tidal connection that is there, where the moon is rotating along with the earth with only the same phase of the moon showing, the rotating speed is the same, etc., etc. But as a Hindu, understand that it is because Paramashiva is having moon on his very jatas. That is why you see only one side of the moon. That itself is a huge proof for you that how whatever we are learning is of much deeper scientific, like something that you can't even perceive. It's beyond your perception or cognition.
Actually, talking about science and talking about how, if we have to start talking about cosmology, there's so much that we can go on telling. There's so much for us to learn, and there's so much for us to go on telling. Because from time immemorial, Hindus have been advanced. We knew the science. Even before world looked up, we already knew what is beyond the sky that we see. We have been advanced. And like many of you have posted, it is only that a living avatar who only he can unveil these extraordinary truths to us in the most profoundly simplified manner. Let me start with this. From morning till now, each of you have been listening to these various revelations and you've all been enjoying. Can you all tell me what is it that you have learned through this? From morning till now, understanding about grahas, understanding about cosmology, what is it that you clicked with? Madonna saying, it's over my head. I'm brand new to Vedic astrology. Okay. How about the others? I mean, Madonna, honestly, every one of us are brand new to this astrology which Swamiji is revealing to us. Even the most, let alone Vedic, even the most scientific astrology would have not tapped into this aspect of astrology. Like I said, always physics is seen something apart, like space, it's out there, not relevant to our lives. And there's one group that only is focused on the space, and there's another group that's only focused on us. But between the Brahmanda and Pindhanda, there's so much more for us to know. Only an avatar can reveal this, which is what Swamiji has revealed for us. Come on, all the others. What did you click with from morning till now? What is it that you have understood? Ma Malarvati Arulampalam is saying it was mind blowing. Okay, how about the others? When you listen to these revelations on cosmology, and how was it for you? Ma Mehnaz has put, I am amazed how this ancient civilization was exploring this multi universe concept. Beautiful, right? How about the others? Ma Yalipeng. Okay, very nice. So many of you have posted. Now, when was the last time that you looked at the sky? In the last full moon? Or probably the last meteor shower that you saw about? Or even earlier, let's say in your school, when you first learned about constellations? The vast expanse of stars, planets, novas, and space that you see up above is directly connected to you acing your job interview. These stars, novas that you see in the space, they hold the key to you acing a job interview, your happily ever after and ultimate bliss. What you know about space, what you have seen, observed, or understood about space, there's a clear distance between us and Mother Nature. There's so much of difference that we don't even mostly relate to between us and the skies and the universe, because as per science, there's so much more to explore about the universe, which is partially true. There is so much to know about universe which is ever expanding. But what if I told you that the universe that you see above, the stars in the sky, the moon, the sun, the 9 planets, have always been an integral part of our life thousands of years before even you could imagine?
Now let's start with a game. Okay. I request all of you, you can take a paper and pen. Try to draw a straight line from one end of your paper to the other. Please take a moment. Try to draw a straight line from one end of your paper to another. Let me know once you're done.
Come on, all of you try. Pick up a piece of paper and pencil. Try. Okay, I see many of you are hurriedly getting your paper and pencil. You're all able to draw a straight line?
Now, visualize this. Draw a straight line from your house to the end of your street. Try to visualize. Hard, slightly difficult. Okay, how about drawing a straight line from your city to your neighboring city? Visualize. Very difficult. Not able to visualize.
I see many of you trying hard and squinting your eyes, trying to see, trying hard to visualize. Okay, getting harder, is it? Getting harder? Okay. Now, how about going back to a time where there were no Google Maps, no GPS, no clocks, no internet, no navigation tools, absolutely nothing. And in that time,
now, in that time, visualize drawing a straight line that is not just from one end of the paper to another, or from one city to another, not even from one state to another, but running a few kingdoms apart for almost 2,400 kilometers. Yes, this straight line exists even today, which is united by 5 major Shiva temples. And this is falling exactly in the longitude of 79 degrees. Mind blowing, right? This was built in a time where they did not have GPS. They did not have a map. They did not have any kind of fancy equipment or technology that we have today. We were struggling to draw a straight line or even visualize a straight line for a place that we were so well aware of, just from our house to the street end. And forget about even thinking how to draw a straight line from one city to another. But our ancestors had built temples in the exact same straight line that stands tall even to this day, starting from Kedarnath all the way to Rameshwaram. How did they do this? Because our ancestors had access to something extraordinary. They possessed the knowledge of something really, really powerful and amazing. They were having the ability to access this vast knowledge, going as far as galaxies away, not just few kingdoms away, but few galaxies apart.
and there were no Google Maps at that time. Here, even with having Google Maps, internet, for us to visualize, it's a struggle. But there were no Google Maps, there was no internet, there was no concept of all of this. But how did they do it? Take another example. What you all see behind us is the Konark Sun Temple in Orissa, which dates to 1250 CE. And this temple is known for its 24 wheels, which has these 24 wheels, which are in reality the sundials. And do you know, these wheels work to this day, these sundials work to this day. This is an ancient machine that can calculate up to minutes precisely to this day, even to this day. This temple is situated in Orissa, present day India. And this sundial, as you all can see in the picture, has 8 big lines, which divides 24 hours into 8 parts, each of them lasting for 3 hours. And they have 8 small lines, slits in between them, and big lines, which cuts the 3-hour parts into half, which is 1.5 hours. And these small lines makes the 90-minute intervals with a big line followed by a small line, as you all can see in this picture. And what I am showing you is one small carving, one small wheel carving out of that huge temple. And there's a science hidden behind this, just a simple wheel that is there. Doesn't end here. Do you all see these small beads in the wheel? There are 30 beads between a small and a big slits. Each bead represents 3 minutes for precise time measurement. And this sundial, which was built centuries ago, works with the same precision to this date. Even today, if you go to the Konark Sun Temple and if you try calculating time without the need of modern machineries, without need of modern watches, phones, anything, you can calculate the time with the exact same precision up to 3 minutes precise. Let's keep this on one side. Next, talking about how we knew. There were no satellites. We are all having satellites today. We have NASA, we have ISRO, we have so many space agencies that travel up to the world to study how Earth looks. Let me take you back to 5,000 years ago. 5,000 years ago from today, in the grand epic of Mahabharata, the Purana history of Mahabharata, there's a very beautiful verse which is part of the Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata, the 12th shloka, 6th chapter, and from the 6th chapter, the 12th shloka of the 6th chapter, to the 37th shloka of the 13th chapter, the geography of Earth is described in great detail. But I'm not just going to go so elaborate into it. Just one example. The particular verse, the 12th shloka of the Bhishma Parva, tells, Sudharshanam pravakshyami dvipam te kuru nandana dviramsho pippalastatra dviramsho cha shasho mahan. Sanjaya says that the earth looks like a wheel, the Sudarshana. Inside this circle, this wheel, there are two portions that look like rabbits and two portions that look like leaves of a peepal tree. Take a guess. What does this mean? Two rabbits, two portions of peepal tree? What exactly does this description mean? Well, let me show you what science, thousands of years later, discovered. This, what Sanjaya described, is a precise description of the polar azimuthal equidistant projection of Earth, which means here Sanjaya is describing Earth in a wheel, and here Antarctica is the center of this wheel and Arctic is in its rim. And the two rabbits, exactly as you can see in the drawing, are the Eurasia and the North America, and the two leaves are Africa and the South America. Here you can see very precisely exactly how, as Sanjaya described, this drawing, the two rabbits and the two portions of a peepal tree leaf.
Just try to see the image inverted. You'll exactly see what we're describing. It's so precisely described.
This was a time when there were no so-called satellites as per modern science that existed. This was a time 5,000 years ago. As per modern science, Galileo discovered planets and space in the year 1610 CE. All of you can Google it. Can you all Google who discovered planets? Can I request every one of you to take a few minutes and Google? Each of you can Google and post the answer. Let's check if Google is telling you the same. Come on, each of you can take a minute or two and Google. Google who discovered planets, and you all can post the answers in the chat. Okay, Galileo. So many of you have posted Galileo. All right, interesting. So Google tells Galileo in the year very recently, in 1610 CE, he discovered about planets and space in the sky. So he, as per modern science, it was Galileo who discovered that there's something beyond these planets and planetary things, that the sky that we see, there's something beyond that. But what if I told you, much before Galileo, if I have to be precise, exactly 5,608 years before Galileo did, a Vedic text called the Jyotisha Vedanga, dating back to 4000 BCE, mentions precise astronomical data and various cosmological events described in the sacred scriptures. This is just one part of our Vedas. That's why it's called as Vedanga. It's one part, one anga of our Vedas. This Jyotisha Vedanga, which is dating back to 4000 BCE, precisely mentions about the different astronomical data and the cosmological events as they happened. How did we use this information about planets that are available to us in our day-to-day lifestyle or in our work, in our planet Earth. Example of that is Sri Padmanabha Swami Temple. This Padmanabha Swami Temple stands as a perfect blend of astronomy and architecture. Just see this picture here. This is a rare visual spectacle that unfolds twice every year in Padmanabha Swami Temple. Precisely on the days of equinox, the sun setting passes through exactly all the windows in the Gopuram in succession, both sunrise and sunset. And this happens in precise 5-minute intervals between each. There's exactly 5 minutes intervals between each of them, and the sunrise to sunset on the days of equinoxes passes exactly through this.
Well, what are your thoughts? Just learning so far. What do you feel? How advanced were our ancestors? And how do you feel that, we don't learn that it was the Hindus who had discovered this, and these are the phenomenal things that we knew. We don't have access to that information. How many of you are hearing these things for the very first time? Come on, take a moment and share. How many of you are here listening to this for very, very first time? Yes, 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 first time, first time. See for yourself, what an amazing thing has been hidden from us. This is my first time, me. Okay. Wow. I see so many of, I think, various different Zoom rooms. So many of you have responded. Ma Susan has put this, history is taught by conquerors and the rest is covered up. Actually, the history is available to us even now. All these things are available. It is not being taught to us, it's being covered. That is why what Swamiji is doing to bring all these sciences, reviving these sciences, making it available to humanity is something too amazing. And extreme sacrifice and hard work goes behind this. And not just that, from morning, every session almost we had so many of you saying each session was just mind-blowing what Swamiji was revealing, whether it was about the planets, whether it was about the astrology or astronomy, every science, whether it was about the black hole, Big Bang. Understand all this science that Swamiji is gifting it to us. It is with a lot of hard work, the intense research, the time that Swamiji spent to gift all these to us, and the immense knowledge that Swamiji is sharing all of these with us and making it completely available for free. How do each one of you feel? Can each of you take a few minutes and go to Twitter and tweet your experience? How you feel just being here today, receiving these amazing gifts from Swamiji, and where Swamiji is gifting to you the knowledge, the gifts from Sanatana Hindu Dharma, which otherwise is not available to us today.
And most importantly, when you see that so many information, so many truths that's so publicly available, like you all Googled and all of you have posted how Galileo is shown as the person who discovered. But 5,000 years before Galileo, our rishis, our scriptures very clearly described about the different astral bodies in space. Same way, if you see Rishi Varaha Mihira, who existed somewhere between the 6th century CE, in his book, the Paulisha Siddhanta, he accounts clearly how Earth is spherical and constitutes of 5 elements, which stands poised in the region of spaces, as if in an iron ball held in a position in a cage of magnets. He has so precisely described this is in the 6th century CE. Similarly, Kamalakara, a Hindu astronomer and mathematician who lived in Varanasi in the 17th century AD, gave the first detailed account of causes of earthquake within Earth's crust. However, the European geologists took another whole century to publish the first basic understanding of Earth's interior and the phenomenon called earthquake. In every single step, we were advanced. For example, Aryabhatta. In his book Aryabhatiyam, dating 477 AD, mentions about how Earth revolves around the Sun, the distance between Earth and the Sun, and how Earth takes 24 hours to rotate around the Sun, and how Earth rotates on its own axis. Today, science credits Sir Isaac Newton for the discovery of gravity, right? We all learnt in science about how gravity was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton. But 5,000 years before him, written in 1500 BCE, the Rig Veda explains the gravitational effect of solar system and how the solar system, the sun, keeps the earth stable through gravity. Here you all can see the precise words that describes gravity.
Now, the darshan that we are going to be experiencing today is very, very strongly connected to all of these things that we are learning. It was only a few years before science concluded, the modern day science concluded that the universe came into existence after a huge big bang that had happened. But millions of years before this, when the event of Big Bang actually happened, it was recorded in our Arunachala Purana as the happening of Bhagavan Lingodbhava. And that is the very darshan we are going to be having today. Let us all take a few minutes. We're now going to be chanting the Dhyana Shloka of Bhagavan Lingodbhava Murti and preparing ourselves to enter into today's darshan. All the things that you've been learning since morning, everything that you've been learning, all those you will see how it will become a very powerful experience in you today during today's darshan. Devam garbhagrihasya manakалите linge jatashekaram katyasaktaram varam cha dadatam krishnam mrigam chabhayam savyetankamamaya padamakutam brahmachutabhyam yutam urdhvadastitam hamsakolamamalam Lingodbhavam bhavaye. This is a beautiful Dhyana Shloka describing the happening of Bhagavan Lingodbhavam. And today's session is, actually today's Pradosham. This is the very day when Bhagavan Lingodbhava manifested, meaning this is the exact time frame. Like the whole cosmic alignment is there in such a way exactly how when Bhagavan Lingodbhava manifested it was there. That is why today, especially, Swamiji is going to be giving all of us the darshan of Bhagavan Lingodbhava Murti. We all are going to be experiencing this powerful darshan today. Now, before we enter into the darshan itself, I want to share with you something really, really amazing. And for this, we request all of you we want to share with all of you how the cosmic descent actually got recorded in the cosmos itself. Like we were just seeing about the phenomenal knowledge our ancestors have had, how precisely, not just in a time where there was no access to technology, they were able to draw the world map and able to describe how the earth was, how it was rotating around, and all such details that we just saw. And even were able to calculate when exactly the Big Bang happened, how it happened, why it happened, everything. Right? Like this, in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, we have a very clear methodology through which we can clearly calculate, identify the events that are happening, cosmic events that are happening, and study those cosmic events. Whenever the cosmos descends down, you can very clearly see some really extraordinary cosmic events that happen in the sky. So
We had the science to study. It was not just that the macrocosm was irrelevant to our lives. There are so many happenings, cosmological events, when they happen, they convey a profound significance to some happenings in planet Earth. And Hinduism had mastered precisely on how to read these cosmological events. There are multiple times big bangs, black holes, the happenings of supernovas, all of these which signify events of profound importance in our planet Earth. And we are going to be taking you through one such event. For thousands of years, Hindu scriptures have been able to comprehend these cosmic phenomena which are beyond the logical explanation. And we have been able to precisely map these happenings in our daily lives. Documenting every single event, including the big bangs, the black holes, manifesting simultaneously, spontaneously, and synergetically. If you see so many cosmological events that happens around, our rishis had the clear signs of identifying their significance, what they had, what they represented, and how we are impacted by them. In the Skanda Mahapurana, Paramashiva very clearly reveals about how the linga is everything, and therefore the whole universe has originated from it. This Skanda Mahapurana is the exact Purana where the happening of Lingodbhava is mentioned. And in this particular verse, Paramashiva reveals about how the Linga Udbhava happened. The universe is created from the Linga. The Linga is without the beginning and end, and it is the eternal Brahman. And this is clearly stated in multiple other scriptures, stating clearly how the Big Bang started from Paramashiva Linga and merges back into that Lingodbhava, that form of Paramashiva. We all can see that how science is coming to this conclusion about how the whole age of the universe, if you see the cycle of the universe, right, what science has lately discovered is exactly in the shape of a linga, which we have been worshipping since millions of years.
According to the science, the universe was created out of a black hole, and suddenly a big bang emerged into creating this universe. And this is exactly what in our scriptures we call as the manifestation of Lingodbhava, the avyakta, manifesting into vyakta, the manifest. The descent and the departure of great incarnations, when cosmos descends, it has been recorded in multiple astrophysical phenomena such as meteors, comets, and supernovas. For instance, if you see when Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi attained Mahasamadhi in 1950, thousands were witness to an illuminous meteor traveling across the sky. Like this, there have been multiple such events that have been clearly recorded, and something very, very phenomenal, exactly like this, happened on the 3rd of January, 1978, exactly when Swamiji, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, descended on the planet. On the 3rd of January 1978, the exact moment that Avatar descended.
Let's start with the birth. Let me describe exactly the experience of birth, the experience itself is really wonderful. There was no dual or two things. First, it can be said even in the way like a light covered by light. There was no experience, experiencer and experienced separately. There was only one consciousness which is intelligent, which is alive and which is enjoying itself. First, it was just the Satchidananda, nothing else. I was conscious, I was alive, and I know I was alive, and I was just enjoying that I am alive. I exist. Suddenly, in a very vague way, one small light, please understand I am explaining frame by frame what happened during my birth. The first frame was a light in somewhere around South India, Southern India. But I do not know at that moment it was Arunachala or something like that. Just somewhere around Southern India. That was the first first scene. The next scene, like a shooting star, I was just pulled by that light. The third scene in my consciousness was the Arunachala. By now, I know I have already taken the body.
This was clearly recorded in the modern day science. Exactly when Swamiji had descended, like exactly how Swamiji described, in the night sky appeared a supernova in the constellation of Aquila approximately at 12:50 a.m. IST. And this was one of the brightest supernovas ever. And this was the exact auspicious time when the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism had descended on the planet. Jan 3rd, 1978. Until now, this has been the brightest supernova ever recorded. There's a lot more to share, but it's already time for all of us to enter into the most awaited segment of our day. It is all into experiencing the Bhava Samadhi Darshan of Bhagavan Lingodbhava through the Nijavatar of Paramashivoham himself. Please sit with your head, neck and spine in a straight line. Close your eyes and chant the Mahavakya.
Paramashivoham.
The moon transit was to focus
The Mahavakya.
Paramashivoham.
My son is Braxton, and he was diagnosed with a brain tumor.